my needles are in hold position, and I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to E-wrap going counterclockwise around the cylinder. Now I have this set up for a Van Dyke selvage or a scalloped selvage, and what that means is I've counted 3 needles and taken out the 4th. I'm on a 72 needle cylinder, so you would want to work out the math for whatever cylinder you're using. You can do this selvage edge with different cylinders for sure. You just have to work out the math. And I'm using my finger to kind of hold the stitches down. Taking out, like I said, every 4th needle on this cylinder, and I'm going counterclockwise. Not too tight. If you get it too tight, it'll be very hard to knit off. Oh, that was musical. There we go. The reason that we do a E-wrap cast on, you could also do a figure 8 cast on, but the reason we do that is because we need it to have a terminal edge because we're doing 3-1 ribbing. And if we don't have a terminal edge cast on, one that will not ravel, then if we were just to start knitting without an E-wrap or some other terminal edge, then that stitch would be a live stitch. We'd be left with one live stitch. That would mean that it would come undone. Sorry about my hand. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way, but I'm not being hugely successful. Here we go. Oops, I missed one. There we go. I don't know about you, but I find there are some spots on the cylinder I could just, it just comes very natural, the movement. In other parts of the cylinder, it's much more awkward because of the angle. And when we get all the way around, we're going to thread our yarn carrier, or carriage, silver bullet, they sometimes call it on the true knit. And I am going to use the tool as I knit this first row to help me hold that yarn down, because even though we have waste yarn beginning here, so that I can put weight on the machine, it doesn't really impact the first row because the knitting is separate from those stitches. All right, now I'm gonna put my needles down, starting right there, and I'm gonna start knitting around, making sure that the latches are open as I go. Whoopsie. Taking the first row kind of slow, and we're counting the cast on row as one row. So after the cast on, we're going to go around 2 times. And I'm going to fill that in. And when I get around the other side of it, I'm going to feed it up into and back feed it onto the stitches. This is my second row around. Now I'm going to pull that out into the middle. And it's woven in there plenty, so I can snip that off. Everything will be fine. Okay, that is my, if we count right here, I've got 3 loops here. There's 4, this is because I fed the tail in, but there's the waist yarn right here. Can you see that? Yeah. And then there's 3 loops. This one's double, but it won't be double for very long. I'm going to install the ribber. Ribber against the fin, drive needle against the pin, or drive the screw that drives it against the pin. Now, my first one I'm going to pick up is 3 stitches past D, and I'm going to come around here. First, I'm going to look at that alignment. I think I'm going to adjust that a little bit, because what's happening is it's not, one of these has to align with the center of this space. So I need to loosen that underneath. I'm going to dip down here with my ribber needle. I'm going to pick up that double one and the other 2 stitches and install that ribber needle. Keeping the loops I pick up need to go in the hook of the needle and the latch open. It's going to close a little bit, but as long as it can pop open when that ribber comes around, we're doing fine. All right, I'm going to again pull that up so I can count 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put that down. Trying not to split that waist yarn, because that just makes it hard to get off. I don't use ravel cord. I just never remember. I can have pretty good success just snipping the stitches and getting them off that way. There we go. And moving my cylinder around to free up more spaces over here. Pulling that out to be able to see my 3 loops. When you do 3-1 ribbing, it's a little bit challenging to get the ribber dial adjusted in a way that they're in between the other needles. But as long as those needles aren't hitting, we're good. There we go. First row is always tight on a ribber, and that's okay. Looks like I got a couple more to go, and then we're all the way around the cylinder for installing the ribber needles. It is the nice thing about doing a 3-1 rib is that on a 72 cylinder, it's only 18 of them, so it goes pretty fast. All right. All right. Now that we're all the way around, I'm going to reset my row counter, and I am going to do 50 rows of ribbing. There's my 50 rows. So we're going to start installing the cylinder needles back, switching them over. So there's my halfway point. I'm going to start the first ribber needle past that. I just use the ribber needle as my hook to transfer the stitch. You want to make sure that when you put that cylinder needle back in, that latch is open. All right, we're all the way around. Remove my ribber. There it goes. Oh, it's pretty. All right. My next course of action is to raise the back half of the needles. And do the heel. So when I'm completed this sock, I will be back on and show you the Van Dyke selvage.